about to go down.
It's lovely pass, and there he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Some skill by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Bullen is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Riccardo is inching into the lead, and Riccardo that win the Italian Grand Prix!
Iguodala running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Riccardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden Barrett and an early touch and an excellent.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Hello and welcome to Sports Orbit, reaching you from the Leadership Podcast Studio. First of all, I'd like to apologize to our esteemed viewers for starting behind schedule due to some technical issues beyond our control. But nevertheless, the show must go on. I am Afa to your host, and Salifu Smart is with Salifu. Welcome to Sports Orbit.
Yeah, thank you, Alpha. It's always a pleasure to be on the Sport Orbit.
All right, on today's episode of Sports Orbit, like we all know, in 2 days' time, Super Eagles of Nigeria will be taking on the Black Stars of Ghana in the first leg of the all-important World Cup qualifier for Qatar. And the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, has come out to say that the federation is leaving no stone unturned to ensure that Eagles achieve a victory as they file out for this all-important qualifiers. Speaking ahead of the fixtures, NFF General Secretary Dr. Mohamed Sanusi reiterated that the ruling body is going to ensure that Super Eagles achieves victory. So, I mean, we couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah.
Even without announcing it at this point in time, the long-awaited D-Day, or let's say D-Days, finally arrived in just 2 days' time. The Super Eagles will be up against the Black Stars out there at the Babayara Stadium in Kumasi.
Well, just like the Dr. Sanusi said, that they are ready. According to him, they have put everything in place, all that necessary to put in place, and be any unforeseen emergency. And so, according to him, they are probably need to try effort to counter for any unforeseen emergency that may arise, and all they are ensure that Super Eagles will get the deserved victories against the Ghanaians. Yes, that is their business. It is our responsibility to ensure that the team is not complaining of anything, and they see that the team, the players, both the players and the officials, will be well motivated to ensure that they go all out against the Ghanaians and get the deserved victory. In as much as this World Cup is more important to the players, it's also important to the Nigeria, the NFF, because this is their business.
Yeah.
So if Nigeria is not qualified, in as much as the Nigerian fans will be lamenting that we will not watch our Dali Eagles in Qatar, be part of Qatar. The officials of Nigeria will feel more pain because they are going to have to lose the business. At the same time, God forbid, if Super Eagles fail to qualify qualify for the World Cup, it will also affect the marketing value of the Super Eagles and of the Nigerian Football Federation. So for them to be in the business and to ensure that Super Eagles get all the necessary support, and for them to be able to approach the corporate body and for sponsorship and for support, Super Eagles need to be at the World Cup. And you won't know what I mean. By the time it appears that most of the corporate body are not speaking now, but the moment we pick the ticket, you see all everybody try to jump on the Super Eagles to support the team and to get it, because every of the corporate world want their brand to be here at the World Cup, and for you the only way you can have the brand is to identify with the team. So, and the Nigerian Football Federation, and apart from football is no more seen as we see as a lucrative or just a recreational activity. Football is now full business. It's not business in this. And for Nigeria Football to ensure that they remain in business and to ensure that have a bargaining power, Super Eagles need to pick the World Cup ticket, and it's only the World Cup ticket that gives any bargaining power for them to negotiate with any corporate ball. So they have no choice. They have to put everything in place to ensure that yes, we will qualify for this World Cup. And just like you see, they need to motivate the players and motivate every other person and all form of distraction to be taken away from the teams.
All right, Mrs. said the NFF is very much alive to its responsibilities and it puts everything in place to inspire the Super Eagles to triumph. He made that declaration after the team had their first training session under the floodlight of the Moshood Abiola Stadium here in Abuja. All right, in the same vein, also the Super Eagles players have been giving thumbs up to the Ministry of Youth and Sports for the turf of the Moshood Abiola Stadium. Super Eagles captain Ahmed Musa and deputy captain William Ekong Odion Igalo and Victor Sima expressed delight with the turn around of the turf and admitted it enabled them to roll the ball on the turf the way it wanted. Musa told NFF.com, the turf is looking and feeling really nice and wonderful. I want to thank the Honorable Minister and Ministry officials for a job well done. This turf is excellent. It is the best among the best I've seen anywhere. And I mean, like we said during the last time when businessman Dangote was said to inspect the turf, and we all saw it. I mean, even the project coordinator himself has said that this turf is exactly the one that is being installed at the stadium to be used at the Qatar World Cup. So, I mean, judging by every standard, this is a world-class facility, and the players themselves have confirmed it. We went there, we saw the turf, and we saw how it was looking. And I think between that time when we saw it and now, it's even looking better. I think because from now you've been further kept exactly. So Super Eagles are excited, and I'm really excited about this stuff also.
Yes, excited, and just like the way they came out to acknowledge the effort put in by the government to ensure that the stock made their takes. And it's good that they have come out to confirm that yes, it's really made their takes and ensure that I allowed them, I like the way they allowed them to hold the ball. So, and I believe that they'll be able to roll the ball and hold the ball into the net. So I hope that after we still don't have any excuse to complain. The minister on his side and the government on his side have done what they need to do. They requested, if you remember one of their meetings with the Minister of Youth and Sport, with the minister, requested that all they are asking for is to ensure that the speech is given a befitting touch and to ensure that the pitch is cooked perfectly to meet their taste. And now kudos to the ministers and his men and his team, and at the same time also commend the businessman that Aliko Dangote for come to the rescue of the Nigerians and to ensure that pitch came back to life after a very long time. No shots of much of this nature has been playing that team over 10 years now, and now they are coming to play on the pitch, and the player has confirmed that the pitch is perfectly okay. So we hope that perfectly okay, and they should be able, in as well as they are confirmed by their mother, I want them to justify that perfect okay by putting all they have seen and justify by play it accordingly and show that yes, this pitch is good enough for them to play and accept that play, and let the result reflect it. And by the time the result reflect, everybody will be celebrated. Even the businessman Aliko Dangote, who do so much to put his money on that pitch, will also be glad that yes, finally my investment was not in waste. I have for you also able to give Nigeria the World Cup ticket. So every kudos will also give to Aliko Dangote, and I think that remember the richest man, the African richest man also said that in the event that Nigeria is not qualified, he has no any business going to Qatar for the World Cup. Absolutely. So he will also be smiled that if Super Eagles come to the Adamu says finally pick the ticket, and the players just like the players have commented. So it's not, to me, in my opinion, it's not to thank the ministers or thank anybody. The greatest time they can give anybody is to win the match and give us the ticket.
I completely agree with you. Meanwhile, it's full house already at the camp of the Super Eagles as the replacement for Maduka Okoye, John Noble, actually hit camp this afternoon. He actually arrived the Commonwealth camp of the Super Eagles this evening to bring the players in camp to 25. Recall that Maduka Okoye had to pull out through illness, and Noble was subsequently called up as a replacement for the Nigerian #1 goalkeeper. So good enough replacement for Maduka Okoye. John Noble has finally hit camp. Incidentally, he happens to be the only home-based player in this N25-man squad.
Yeah, it's good that to him, as much as it's an opportunity for him. What happened to Okoye, fortunately, that have given an opportunity to be part of the team. And also understand that even Nobu himself was Mofi that is also injured.
Because his last match in Eyimba against
Mikitoris,
he was actually substituted.
He's also injured. But like somebody luckily good that has you just come in to make the number to ensure that the number is complete. So nobody's even counting on it that it's going to be between the stick. So definitely the job of between the stick will definitely rely either on Uzoho or Akui, but we are likely going to see Uzoho be in the goal post in the absence of Okui. So and now Austin Okabo has a full complement of his team. Everybody needed to have in the team is already in the team, or is already in the squad. So it's now left for him, and may God give him the grace and the wisdom to be able to select the best of 11 that will play the match against the Ghanaians in Kumasi at the Vira Stadium on Friday and give us the very best result. We need to win the match in Ghana, not just about the match here. So we should attempt as if we go to Ghanaians and get a draw will be enough. No. I pray that we shouldn't have anything short than draw, but the best result that can put us in a comfortable stay for the final game is to get a victory at the Vira Stadium come to Friday.
All right, away from that, but on still looking on to the match between Ghana and Nigeria, Kaizer Chiefs goalkeeper Daniel Akwe has come out to say that the presence of Odion Igalo and Victor Osimhen is very, very crucial for the Super Eagles. Actually, he is banking heavily on the presence of these two stars who were visibly absent during the AFCON 2021 that just concluded not too long ago. In February in Cameroon. He said that we actually miss these players seriously at the AFCON in Cameroon, and having these players is actually a big boost to the Super Eagles, and of course, the aspirations of the Super Eagles to clinch a ticket to Qatar. Salifu, he couldn't have said it any better.
Yeah.
I mean, we miss these players thoroughly, whichever way you want to look at it. Yeah, and it's a good thing that these two players are in top form, are back. I mean, shortly before Igalo even reported to come, we've all been reading about his exploit. He was banned since he made that transfer to the other side of Riyadh. Yeah, I mean, he's been banging goals for fun. Same for Osimhen too, who has been in the form of his life since he got back to full action following that injury. And it couldn't have been a better time for them to rejoin with their mates.
Just for them, just like you said like Osimhen and Igalo has been scoring goal recklessly. And we believe that we hope that they'll be able to destroy the Ghanaians and score the goal recklessly when they get to Vira Stadium. Osimhen, for example, has a backing goal, not just one, but in every match they just score 2 goals. Just score 2 and make it consistent, make it 2 goals per match. And we hope they will be able to give us that 2 goals against the Ghanaians on Sunday. And just like I quite agree with Akpeyi saying that having these two strikers is a good opportunity that they now have full complement of this striker and be able to do. But one particular thing about the Super Eagles sport is that if you look at this team critically, I don't think I can't remember any of the teams within Africa or even in the world that can be both of the strikers the Super Eagles have. But if you look at the presently at the player in camp, you can count almost 5 solid top 9. 5 solid players who can play number 9 perfectly. You mentioned Igalo, you mentioned Osimhen, you mentioned Dennis, you mentioned Sadiq Omar. So all these players are perfectly good to play number 9. So Baba will be at the dilemma to push up this to pick to lead the striker tomorrow, to lead the striker on Friday. And I hope that God, the God of soccer and the God wisdom will be with him to ensure whoever he picks deliver on the assignment.
Absolutely, I can agree. And let's you away from that now to a bit of basketball, where the Commonwealth Handball Association of former Nigerian International, Sheidu Jibrin Ojih, has called on an undisputed truce in the lingering leadership crisis rocking the NBBF. The leadership crisis in the NBBF has refused to abate following the January 31st parallel executive Congress in Abuja and Benin that produced Mark Ikoche and Musa Kida as 2 fractional presidents respectively. But CHA both who spoke to leadership sports appealed to the contending factions to sheath their swords and allow sanity to prevail in the beautiful game of basketball in the country. I mean, this the head of another federation who is not even in Buffalo calling for that this should be resolved. That should tell you that, I mean, if anything affects one federation, by extension, it affects all. Because I mean, we're talking about sports here.
What
So
we are talking here is Nigeria.
Nigeria,
Basketball.
exactly. So
And
he has also lent his voice this time around to appeal to the NBF and the warring factions to shift their swords and allow peace to reign.
said Jibrin say it's not a small person in the Nigerians and the former Nigerian international, and at the same time, the head of the Commonwealth Handball, not just African, head of Commonwealth Handball. For him to, it shows you that how everybody value the crisis in Nigeria basketball has affected everybody. Yes, you may say that it's not in basketball, but he also feel that it's part because it's interesting if you read the what he's trying to say that. But because of all this, is the youth that are suffering. Exactly. Is the youth and the player whose their livelihood depend on this game that you are putting them in danger. And it's begging everybody that please and please, just for your own, for the sake of the sport development and for the sake of the youth who depend solely on this game for their livelihood, sheath your sword and allow peace to reign. Because crisis does not do anybody favor. And when according to the local pastor, when the two elephants are fighting, the guys are suffering. And the guys in this game is the players, the youth who are dependent on this game. Igosha is not playing basketball anymore. Kida is not playing basketball anymore. But those who are playing the basketball are not suffering. You play Igosha and Mark and other members who are within this one. You play this game. At the time when you were playing, you enjoy this game to the level. If I'm not even mistaken, some of you for where you are today, or who you are today, you may have gone through the basketball or through the basketball scholarship to get to where you are today. So another people need to use that opportunity. But now you are gripping the opportunities when other Nigerians are on the youth supposed to benefit from. So for the sake of just we also join what the say, for the sake of the youth, not for the sake of anybody, just for the youth and for the development of sport, please allow peace to reign. And if really your interest is about the game, there's not if your interest is just really about developing the game and it's not for your personal pocket or for your personal selfish interest, there's no need to even bother about this issue. If really people want you to serve, you serve. And if there's no, you don't want you to serve, please, if you do respect, you give away. And allow the stakeholders to genuinely decide who and when they want to manage the game. So please, and just like you said, please and please, everybody should put their difference aside and allow people. If you there's nothing wrong, both of you can come to the table and agree with yourself.
I mean, whatever it is,
it
should be something like you said. What is happening in basketball is not okay for all of us, and it's not good for individuals to hold a federation to ransom. We are pleading and hope that the issue in basketball stops. And because clearly, I mean, these are just two individuals.
Yes.
Two of you cannot hold a whole federation and by extension the country to ransom because of your personal ambition. That's what it is clearly. Anyway, away from that now to some other news coming from England, where Manchester United former captain Wayne Rooney and former Arsenal captain Patrick Vieira were on Wednesday inducted into the Premier League Hall of Fame. The pair at 9th and 10th former players respectively to join the select group, which include the likes of David Beckham, Steven Gerrard, Dennis Beckham, Frank Lampard, Roy Keane, Eric Cantona, Thierry Henry, and Alan Shearer. I mean, deserved honor if you ask me. When I initially saw the previous inductees of the Premier League Hall of Fame, I was surprised that the likes of Rooney and Vieira were not in the initial list, but finally they are inducted in the list because, I mean, when you're talking about the Premier League, I don't think it will be complete without the mention of these two players. Rooney is second all-time highest scorer of the Premier League, and we all know what Patrick Vieira did, captain of that invisible side. I mean, he couldn't have come at a better time.
Yeah, I agree. It was an injustice done to them, and it's good that they have corrected the injustice, because you can't say you have a Hall of Fame when those two great guys who have also made their mark, well, because the record these two individuals have in the Premier League will take very long for anybody to erase it. For instance, the Vieira you mentioned led the Arsenal side, a couple of the Arsenal nights of the invisible club who won the title, and up to today, no club has any club that has tried to equal that record. I find it difficult to equal that record, and that record still stands up to today. How many years after? So, and Rooney be who you are, what you achieve with and at the same time, even as an English person, what you achieve with the United, you can't just have a Hall of Fame and exclude those two guys from the list. And it's good that even if you look at the initial list, those two guys are even actually better than some of those who were in the initial league. So it is good that they have corrected that injustice and bring those two guys into the Hall of Fame because they deserve to be in the Premier League Hall of Fame.
Well, finally, before we leave the studio, some bit of transfer news where reports actually, more like rumors, say Juventus are also in the race to sign Mo Salah, actually preparing a massive offer for the Liverpool forward. Recall that Mo Salah will be out of contract at the end of this season, and interestingly, he's yet to put pen to paper for a new offer. Yes, they've presented him with a new contract, but he's yet to put pen to paper, and Juventus have also joined in the race for his signature.
Well, with them well, but looking at the Salah, even as well as he has to sign the contract, I don't see him leave Liverpool soon. But
I mean, in football, with footballers, you can never trust.
you can never trust.
footballers.
I quite agree. Remember, Salah has also have an experience in Israel where he played for Roma. But after he left Chelsea, the coach felt that he was not good enough. He went to Roma and established himself before he got to Liverpool. And since he came to Liverpool, he has become a very star to watch. And now he has made his mark in the Premier League. And Juventus are currently struggling because Juventus is no longer the Juventus we have 2 years or 4 years back. So they're trying to regulate and revive and bring the club back to its original prime. So, but if they're able to get Salah's good for them, but I doubt if it is this kind of deal to scale through because Liverpool's, in as much as his contract will be coming at the end of this season, and then Liverpool will do all the good combination to stick with that. At the same time, age is no longer on Salah's age is already counting against him.
I think Salah's main issue, Liverpool has given him a new contract, but he wants more money. And players always get to that point where they feel, with what I've done for the club, I deserve more wages, and that is where the issue is currently.
Yes. In my friends, they say Liverpool deserve his pay, and at the same time, sometimes I look at the players that they are too very selfish about the certain things they bargain about the club. So of course, yes, this money you're asking for, at the same time, check itself. Yes, there's too much money in football, but also as part of the coach, also trying to be considerate. But one thing at the same time, you may not even blame the players. Sometimes you see a player who is playing regularly and doing very well, and you see another player sitting on the bench and earn more money. Yeah. So this has come out with some of the injustice in football that I don't really understand. You see the player sitting on the bench, earn almost 4 times of what the player who is playing every day on end.
All right, we'll keep an eye on the evolving story and we'll see how that comes out. Anyway, thank you, viewers, for spending the last couple of minutes with us. And even though we started a bit behind schedule, Salufu, thank you for joining me in the studio once again.
Thank you.
All right, until we come your way tomorrow again, hopefully we'll be on time with a bigger and better package of Sports Orbit. My name is Apacho, and stay safe out there, and goodbye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.